We all knew what happened in those states. This is unacceptable to occur anywhere in America, that we could be sitting for a fourth straight day of counting now on Friday after an election night Tuesday.
And now there's something else that we are not going to, we're not going to just let it pass here because it's getting a lot of attention. And it does matter in the sense of what the GOP is going to become here. We got work to do. We have work to do as a party. The Democrats failing and sucking at their jobs, the Democrats being bad at governance, is not enough. We have to figure out, one, what's going on with the election machinery state by state and come together to understand that we have to fight fire with fire. You know, there's an opportunity for this, by the way, in Georgia. Some good news out of Georgia was that we said this here on the show yesterday, Kemp needs to throw his weight behind Herschel Walker. Kemp can be the kingmaker here in that state. And to the governor's credit, there's already been an official announcement put out, press release, that he will be working with the Walker campaign and trying to help push Walker across the finish line, which was the obvious thing to do. We're all about winning and making this a better country, folks, right? But we got to win to get there. We're not trying to be, no offense, libertarians, intellectually interesting, but politically
failing all the time.
I was trying to think of a nice way of saying it, but like losing all the time. Yes, we're not trying to do that. We're actually trying to win and therefore have the ability to change things. And then that also brings me to another big thing we're going to be talking about today. And maybe we'll even take some calls about this to see where people are. All right, so Governor Ron DeSantis, there's a really funny Babylon Bee post that Governor DeSantis decided to take the entire red wave for himself, very selfishly. They're kidding. It was a joke. It was funny. But Donald Trump on Truth Social has been saying some stuff. He's been saying some stuff about Ron DeSantis and also, to the surprise of some, about Glenn Youngkin and not complimentary stuff. And here's where I am in this, Clay. I want to know where you are on this. Folks, politics is not flag football. This is, if there's going to be a primary fight, there's going to be a primary fight. You've got the ultimate heavyweights within the Republican Party right now. We all know who they are. Remember Hillary and Obama, those were the two biggest names in the Democrat Party, and they ended up having, Obama be president for 8 years. And that was a nasty primary. So we'll just say this, if it turns into a total throwdown, we will cover it, we will talk about it, we will analyze it, and may the best man win.
It's going to happen, I think, Buck. And I don't think Trump is doing himself any favors right now because DeSantis is sitting back. I don't think DeSantis has to announce until June or July, really, of 2023. So he can continue to be governor of Florida, do his best job. And Trump continuing to take shots at DeSantis, I don't think is a win for Trump. Now, when they both are in the ring and they're both battling, it feels to me like Trump is trying to intimidate DeSantis from running based on taking shots at him already. And I certainly understand that from a strategic perspective, but I think the shots that he is taking are not landing in a way that helps him. Eventually, they're going to have to step into the ring.
We have to. This is what was put out, and it has been confirmed by many people now that Trump said in a Truth Social statement something about how Glenn Youngkin's name sounds Chinese.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre.
Makes no sense.
It's bizarre.
Makes no sense.
And you guys know, I both am deeply appreciative of Donald Trump and personally fond of Donald Trump. But one of the problems we had in the first 4 years was nobody could ever. I was always like, hey, can we be coaches at halftime trying to make the team win, trying to make the team better? The team didn't win, folks. The 2020 election, we could talk about this all day long. Joe Biden's president. It didn't work. Whatever, they cheated, fine, whatever, it didn't work. So I would like us to be in a position now where we could say, look, we call balls and strikes. That's not a helpful thing for Donald Trump to be writing right now. Is Donald Trump a one-man political movement that defeated the Democrat machinery on his own in a way that was once in a generation, maybe once in a lifetime? Absolutely. Is he an incredible performer? Does he have an ability to connect with people, to message in a way that can go up against the multi-billion-dollar Democrat DNC machine? Yes. Great. Does he sometimes make mistakes, get a little undisciplined? Yes. You know, is Ron DeSantis younger, less seasoned? Sure. Is Ron DeSantis the best governor in the country right now, who just won by 20 points, did an amazing job in Florida, is super smart, disciplined, and conservative? Yes. So here, it's Batman versus Superman, folks.
And that's where we're headed. And I don't think DeSantis has to announce till June and July. And so until then, Trump is fighting against someone who hasn't officially announced for the race. And I think DeSantis wins the more Trump is sending these, these screeds, so to speak, out about him. And I also just say this, Glenn Youngkin won in Virginia and ran an incredible campaign. Ron DeSantis is, right now, the best Republican governor in the country. I don't know why you would want to be attacking two people that have done some of the best jobs in Republican politics right now, because it looks like weakness, not strength.
That's right.
Those guys are not even running against you.
No serious person who knows anything about Republican politics right now in America who has a platform would sit around saying, yeah, Ron DeSantis is a mediocre governor. It's just not true. I mean,
Correct.
You can say that, but that's not good. Ron DeSantis, maybe, if Trump wants to say doesn't have the big stage charisma or something, if they get into this primary, there are things that he could say, but mediocre governor is just not one of them. It's you know what I mean? This would be like me saying, LeBron James is just not good at basketball. He's just not that good. He's just an average player. It's like, well, no. You could say Michael Jordan is better,
Correct.
But you can't say that LeBron James is mediocre.
And that's where the argument actually ends up bouncing back on you when you try to make an argument that the vast majority of people out there, if you say, look, Tom Brady's not very good this year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, people can say, okay, you know what, maybe it's the divorce with Giselle. There's all sorts of angles you could take on why that is. If you say Tom Brady's not a good quarterback, people just say, your opinion is not worthy of contemplation here. And it ends up hurting you for even sharing that opinion by and large. And I feel like that's where we are for Trump DeSantis. But this is going to play out in 23. I think DeSantis is going to announce sometime June, July, maybe in the summer. And then he and Trump can go at it. We can see whether DeSantis is a national player on the same level he is in Florida. We can see how Trump, is he still got his fastball? Does he still have the ability to connect with the Republican base? Hey, that's a question for everybody in the primaries to make. But right now, DeSantis is the most successful governor in the country. Trump is one of the most successful, I really believe this, presidents that we have seen in our lives. I think the first 4 years were phenomenal. Now the question is, who do people believe makes the most sense in 2024? And that is going to be a Donnybrook.
It is indeed. What a day the stock markets had yesterday. The single best day for growth since 2020, and partially because inflation was reported to only grow by 7.7% instead of the 8 and 9% growth we've seen in prior months. If that's what the Biden administration is celebrating, we've got issues, friends. Inflation at 7.7% in October only means the dollars stored away in your savings account have decreased in value by that percentage, or have decreased in value by that percentage. Nothing to write home about. There's a smart way to protect the value of your savings and retirement accounts, and it involves investing a portion of your savings in gold. Diversify. It has been proven to be consistent in times of inflation and market volatility. We won't see stock market performance every day like we did on Thursday, so call the Oxford Gold Group, the company I use for gold purchases. They're the industry leader for so many reasons, starting with their advice and their best pricing guarantees. I find value in purchasing real gold. Gold is the key to make